Good afternoon, keluarga Malaysia. Thanks for watching Updates at Noon with me, Renee Fong. Making the headlines today, Najib Razak recuses Chief Justice recusal in SRC case final appeal. HSR project revival plans currently in discussion. Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak is seeking to recuse Chief Justice Tun Tengku Maimun Tuan Mat from hearing his final appeal in relation to the SRC International Sunan Berhad case. The application was made by Najib's lead counsel, Hisham T. Potik, immediately after the case proceedings started this morning. The former Premier's lead counsel, Hisham T. Po, told the court that the defence filed the application to recuse the top judge late last night. In his application, the Pekan Member of Parliament said he was making the application in the interest of protecting the independence of judiciary. He said he had received information about a Facebook post made by Tengku Maimun's husband, Datuk Zamani Ibrahim, on 11th May 2018, which touched on Barisan Nasional's BN defeats in the 14th general election, GE14, and Datuk Sri Najib's leadership. Datuk Sri Najib claimed that Zamani had concluded that he had siphoned sovereign government funds into his personal accounts, and it is likely that the husband would have influenced the thinking of the mind of the chairperson to his alleged culpability. In the motion, Datuk Sri Najib is seeking for the Chief Justice to recuse herself from hearing or deciding on the appeal, as well as for a new panel to preside over the appeal. Malaysia hopes to speed up the revival of the terminated high-speed railway HSR project with Singapore as soon as possible. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri said currently Transport Minister Datuk Sri Wee Ka Siong is in discussions with his Singaporean counterpart S. Iswaran on the matter. The Prime Minister said that if the project is revived, it would involve some changes, including to the terms and conditions. The Premier added that Malaysia also has plans to establish HSR between Kuala Lumpur and Bangkok. He envisaged that the rail line could go up to China, as China and Thailand were also in the process of building their respective high-speed train lines. On another matter, the Prime Minister said the government is looking into the need for a third link between Johor and Singapore in the efforts to reduce congestion at the Johor Causeway and the second link. Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri said this during a question-answer session with several representatives of the foreign media and Bernama in Putrajaya yesterday. On another note, Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri said the government will review all policies involving human resources and human capital to retain and attract skilled talents to the local job market. He said the Economic Action Council EAC admitted that apart from facing challenges in creating highly skilled job opportunities, Malaysia was also facing competition from developed countries that offered higher wages. In a statement after chairing the meeting yesterday, the Premier said the government is committed to making Malaysia a high-income nation driven by the adoption of the new technologies, inventions and development of local technologies. He added the government would also continue with efforts to develop future talents for inclusive and sustainable growth. The EAC also agreed with the proposal by the Science, Technology and Innovation Ministry to undertake intervention measures to improve Malaysia's position in the Global Innovation Index, in line with the government's target under the 12th Malaysia Plan. In addition, a strategic innovation measure will be created to increase the commercialization of the country's technology and innovation following the mismatch of the fields with the needs of the industry. Forensic audit reports on the littoral combat ship LCS projects were released to the public yesterday evening in line with Cabinet's decision to declassify it on 17th August. Senior Minister of Defence Datuk Seri Hishamuddin Hussein in a statement said Bauxite Heavy Industries Corp BHIC Board of Directors had also agreed to release the contents of the LCS forensic audit. The report was prepared for BHIC, a major shareholder of Bauxite Naval Shipyard Sungai Berhad, BNS, which is the Defence Ministry contracted to build the frigates. In a letter to Parliament's Public Accounts Committee, the company said the report, as submitted, review of the LCS programme contained only the portion to do with the LCS forensic audit. BHIC said its board of directors had agreed to declassify its internal forensic audit report in line with the Cabinet decision and was making its findings on the LCS project available to the public. The rest of the report deals with other company matters. The Ministry of Education MOE has received 19 complaints related to bullying in schools through the Aduan Bully portal since it was launched on 18th August. Senior Education Minister Dato' Dr. Razzie Jidin said 16 complaints were received through the Public Complaint Management System (SISPA) and 3 through the WhatsApp application.
Kita mendapat aduan berkaitan dengan kes buli, kita akan membuat penelitian yang mendalam dan mengambil tindakan sewajarnya.
The minister was met after launching MOE's Digital Educational Learning Initiative Malaysia Terima, Agenda Digital Kita di Putrajaya. The Aduan Bully portal was launched to enable bullying incidents to be reported directly to the MOE. UMNO's top leaders held a meeting with Prime Minister Ismail Sabri Yaakob at Sri Perdana last night. The 8 p.m. meeting followed an emergency meeting among UMNO division chiefs and Party President Ahmad Zahid Hamidi at Menara Dato' On World Trade Center, Kuala Lumpur yesterday morning. Several UMNO leaders were seen entering the Sri Perdana complex from 6 p.m. onwards. The Prime Minister's official vehicle was seen leaving the Sri Perdana complex through the main gate at 9:11 p.m. It is understood that Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri's meeting with UMNO leaders did not see the presence of Party President Datuk Sri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. The Prime Minister, who is also an UMNO Vice President and Bura UMNO Division Chief, did not attend an emergency meeting at the UMNO headquarters in Kuala Lumpur earlier that day. Coming up next, 200 million ringgit allocation approved to add more paddies nationwide. The Keluarga Malaysia Digital Economic Centres, PEDI, are more than just internet centres and will lead to greater benefits to Malaysians and the country. Communications and Multimedia Minister Tan Sri Anwar Musa said the centres will be national network that boosts the increase in application use and broadband availability in an area, training the public to become digital content creators. Elaborating further, Tan Sri Anwar said the government previously has agreed to approve 200 million ringgit in allocations to add 167 more centres throughout the country, and tenders for the construction of centres were underway.
Kita harap ia akan menjadi satu jaringan PEDI nasional yang mempunyai peranan baru yang akan merancakkan, saya sebut tadi, dua aspek, iaitu aspek peningkatan keupayaan kepenggunaan ataupun aplikasi kepada teknologi digital dan juga keberadaan perkhidmatan jalur lebar di satu-satu kawasan, dan juga melatih orang kita menjadi pengeluar kepada konten, bukan hanya pengguna kepada konten.
The port of Tanjung Pelepas's PTP container volume is expected to achieve the same level as last year of 11.2 million 20-foot equivalent units, TEUs. Despite the challenges impacting ports around the world due to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, Transport Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Wee Ka Siong said the record performance boosted PTP to one of the top 15 global ports compared to its 18th position in 2020. Explaining further, Datuk Seri Wee said despite the Russian-Ukraine crisis has slightly affected ports activity, the performance of the Johor Port Authority JPA has been impressive, with a record level of container handling of 11.2 million TEUs in 2021. This represented a relatively huge increase of 14% from the previous year's container volume of 9.85 million TEUs.
Ada refleksi kepada kerancakan prestasi perniagaan kita sama ada dalam bentuk transshipment ataupun import dan ekspor. Dan ini satu petanda indikator yang sangat penting. Dipacu dengan aktiviti ekspor import yang agak baik dan menunjukkan pertumbuhan yang mengkagumkan, saya yakin kita dapat mengejarlah angka-angka yang kita atau sasaran yang kita idam-idamkan.
He said this to the media after the launch of the JPA CSR Cares Keluarga Malaysia program yesterday. Datuk Seri Wee said that from 1st January to date, PTP under JPA has handled a container volume of 6.89 million TEUs. At the same time, he was impressed with the performance of Johor Port in Pasir Gudang, which has become a commodity hub, particularly as the world's biggest palm oil storage facility. The Ministry of Agriculture and Food Industries, MAFI, and Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry, KPD and HEP, have been asked to present a holistic study in relation to the direction of Malaysia food supplies. Special Task Force on Jihad Against Inflation Committee member Datuk Seri Mustafa Mohamad said the study will cover matters related to smart farming strategies, land use for paddy crops and meat supply, and the increasing price of mackerel. Datuk Seri Mustafa said the committee has heard a presentation from the Malaysia Competition Commission MYCC regarding the study of 5 food items, namely cabbage, mackerel, mustard greens, baby formula and meat. Regarding mackerel, he said the MYCC also made a presentation regarding increasing prices, that there are members of the public who are unable to afford buying this ikan rakyat or people's fish.
Kita telah dimaklumkan tentang beberapa cabaran, termasuklah bekalan ikan kembung umpamanya, pengeluaran tempatan cuma 40%, 60% diimport daripada luar negara. Ada hal-hal berkaitan dengan keuntungan ataupun margin yang diperoleh oleh orang tengah, ya. Dan juga kita mendengar pembentangan terperinci berkaitan dengan bekalan daging untuk negara kita. Salam keluarga Malaysia. Hari ini pasukan khas.
Police have arrested 2 local men suspected of masquerading as immigration officers, robbing and raping an Indonesian woman on Saturday. The 2 suspects, aged 35 and 40, were arrested at a terrace house in Taman Sri Asahan, Jasin, Melaka at about 3 a.m. yesterday. Ampang Jaya District Police Chief ACP Muhammad Farouk Ishak said at about 6:50 a.m. on Saturday, these 2 suspects claiming to be immigration officers approached 2 Indonesian women near a hospital in Pandan Indah in Ampang, purportedly wanting to check their passports and permits, and then ordered them to get into a car. Both victims were brought to Serdang, and while on the way, their jewellery were taken. One of the victims was dropped off at the side of the road in Serdang, while another was brought to a hotel in Balakong and raped by one of the suspects. Further investigation revealed that the 40-year-old suspect had 18 past criminal and drug records, including 3 wanted records, while the 35-year-old suspect had 13 past criminal and drug records, including 1 wanted record. Muhammad Farouk said the 2 suspects were brought to the Ampang court yesterday for a remand application under Section 117 of the Criminal Procedure Code to assist in the investigations.
application system, getting emergency assistance is now easier. Save Me 999 Police connects the Malaysian public to the police. Save Me 999 Deaf for those with hearing or speech impairments. And Save Me 999 Blind for those with visual impairments. Download now for free on your smartphones. MERS 999 and applications make emergency calls easier.
The Kuala Lumpur Badminton Association KLBA will introduce the Jujaro Project to ensure Kuala Lumpur will continue churning out new badminton talent. Senior Education Minister Dato' Dr. Razzie Jidin said the 5-year project, scheduled to start this year till 2027, is a ministry effort to optimise students' potential in various fields, including sports.
Continuation dalam bidang akademik, as I said, education is always a long game. Apa yang kita buat ini adalah untuk address struktur. Strukturnya apa? Untuk mengoptimumkan potensi murid. Dalam konteks ini, dalam bidang apa? Dalam bidang sukan. Sukan apa? Badminton. So it could be sukan bola sepak, as I said. With KPS, we are working on takraw as well.
He added the project is not only focused on identifying talent among school students but will also build expertise among teachers as badminton coaches and referees. Dato' Dr. Razzie was met after officiating the project in the nation's capital. That concludes today's updates at noon. In our top story, Najib Razak seeks Chief Justice recusal in SRC case final appeal. Don't forget to tune in to news at 10 later tonight. Till then, I'm Renee Fong. Thank you for watching and have a pleasant afternoon.